This is something that actually kind of made me mad looking at, because this whole thing can have a lot of repercussions on the entire gaming industry, and I don't think that's fair. So just to give you some context as to what the hell I'm talking about, it's about a Pokemon patent designed to kill Palworld and every knockoff for good. So when you say knockoff, it's a loosely based term in this sense, okay? So it says Nintendo and the Pokemon Company has been granted a new US patent that could prevent titles like Palworld and similar future games from using monster catching and summoning mechanics. The patent, which was issued on September 2nd, 2025, could potentially have far-reaching effects on the gaming industry. So, yeah, when Palworld first launched, the world quickly compared it to Pokemon games, fair, essentially regarding the design of certain pals. I mean, they did look pretty similar. These comparisons would eventually morph into a lawsuit, with aspects of Palworld needing to be changed as part of patents registered by Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. While these suits have been limited to Palworld so far, this new patent could put other games in the crossfire. The patent in question is specifically about summoning monsters and catching them. And I know it sounds broad, but the thing is, this could have this. It looks like they got this patent specifically to block games like Palworld, where it is like very similar to Pokemon. But the thing is, the patent they have received is directly on the specific mechanic of catching monsters and summoning them, which can have indirect consequences and impact on the wider gaming industry and wider game, like a plethora of games that we have available or like that is to come. And I'll tell you, we'll get to that in a minute, but let's read on. On September 2nd, a patent was issued to Nintendo and the Pokemon Company in loose terms. This patent focused on summoning creatures to fight other creatures, something commonly seen in the Pokemon franchise. Yeah, fair. Naturally, this is going to affect Palworld, which has already updated the game to avoid issues with Nintendo and Pokemon patents, as it uses a similar summoning mechanics for its pals. We already knew this. However, given the creature summoning is a common game mechanic, especially in RPGs, it has potential to impact many other games as well. So this is where I kind of draw a line and go, okay, wait a minute. I don't know if that's a good thing, you know? The Monster Hunter summoning pattern could affect Palworld and similar Pokemon knockoffs further down the line. But what about existing franchises? Pokemon didn't invent the concept, as franchises like the Dragon Quest and Shin Megami Tensei have included monster summoning for battles well before Pikachu ever appeared in the world. So, yeah. The concept also predates Pokemon in other mediums, as the video game was heavily inspired by the Kaiju capsules in the Ultraman series. It's strange to think that such an abstract idea could be patented at all. But that's exactly what has happened. Patents have negatively impacted the gaming industry for decades, and it seems like the US Patent and Trademark Office isn't looking at existing games before granting patents like this one. Yeah, so this is where I kind of draw the line and go, like, what the heck is happening? You can already see the issue with this one, right? Because we already had something similar happen with, I don't know if you guys remember the Nemesis system from the Lord of the Rings game, which was patented by, was it Warner Brothers? I don't know who made the game. That whole Nemesis system was patented, so nobody else could use the system. Essentially, the Nemesis system was fantastic addition to the Lord of the Rings Shadow games, because they were doing something that none of the games have done before, right? So it's essentially like you have these enemies that you can, like, they get affected by your choices in the game, and they like hold grudges and betray you and stuff like that. So it's like a pretty intricate system like system of nemesis that they essentially become like boss battles in the game, which is pretty cool. I'm like oversimplifying the whole system right now. That's what the whole system was, and they patented that whole system so no other game could ever use it. The thing was, they made two games out of with this system in Shadow of Mordor and Shadow of Earth. I forgot. Yeah. So anyway, there's two Lord of the Rings game with this system in, and no more games made. That's it. We got two games with the system in because the whole thing is patented. No other game could actually use the system, and that's pretty shit. It would have been something really cool that other game developers could have used in their games, and like interpretations of it maybe also they could have done it, but they just didn't. They couldn't do it because of this patent. And the same thing is going to happen for games that's inspired by games like Pokemon, with the creature summoning and fighting and catching stuff, not just Palworld, right? And that's an issue because something so abstract like an action in a game being patented is really going to affect a game industry as a whole, and it actually blocks creativity. And I don't think that's actually a good thing when it comes to something like gaming, because gaming industry is it thrives on creativity, and having game developers having freedom to create what they want, and game developers always bouncing ideas on like each other, and also like taking inspiration from previous games, current games. Like everybody borrows from something. Even Pokemon, like this article says, they borrowed from other kaiju capsules in Ultraman series, and inspired by and this Dragon Quest and Shin Megami Tensei. I've played Dragon Quest, but I haven't played Shin Megami Tensei. They have these elements too, which appeared well before Pokemon was ever a thing. So the fact that Nintendo had the audacity to go ahead and patent something like this just started, just to freaking block their competition like Palworld is just straight up evil move. It's a straight up evil move. But then again, I'm not really surprised by what Nintendo's doing lately, because they've been very they've been doing whatever the hell they want, really. Not a care in the world, and nobody really says anything. They seem to get away with everything at the moment. I don't know where this is going to end and how this is going to end up affecting overall gaming industry, but it is definitely something to keep an eye on. And I don't know how further this is going to affect Palworld, because Palworld, as you know, already had a lot of trouble with Nintendo and Pokemon regarding their game, and it's still up. You can still play the game, no issue. But I don't know how this is going to actually now ending up impacting the game overall, and also how it's going to affect any other game. If there are like exceptions to it, I don't know. But it's very concerning that this patent actually exists and it's been granted. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, dude. It's kind of crazy. It says the future could see Nintendo and the Pokémon Company going after its competitors, using the patents created to fight Palworld as a means of shutting down anyone attempting to copy their format. Pocket Pair should be concerned, but that worry may extend to the entire industry if the House of Pikachu gets its way. Yeah, so this is very concerning, and I don't know where it'll end. So something to definitely keep an eye on. Let me know what you guys think of this whole situation with Nintendo. They seem to have been very, first of all, very anti-consumer as of late as well. They don't seem to give a shit about what the players really want, and kind of been forcing their way into everybody, and it's like their way or highway kind of situation, and nobody had really spoken up about it. I have a Switch One. I didn't end up getting a Switch 2 because of first of all, when it launched, it had no games. Having to have digital copies of the game, not having physical copies, and all that drama really put me off. The price of it really put me off. It's just it's a kind of a messy situation, but somehow they seem to be getting away with pretty much everything they do at the moment. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and if you guys have a different take on different take to what I have, let me know. I would like to know what you guys think as well, because this is just me thinking this and just my opinion. But I would like to see if there's a different side to this, and if you see a different side to what I've been seeing, because that'd be pretty cool. We can talk about it, and join my Discord, and we can talk about there as well, and drop a comment here or just join the chat. Or if you're watching this on YouTube later on, drop a comment there.